What is what it is, what it is. Are we live? We live, we live. We all the way live. All the way live. It's all the way live. It's all the way live. Yeah. Another episode of Esoteric Sphere. Today we're going to get on Gnostic thinking. I'm just waiting for the brother Glenn to come in so we get right on in.
Strange block beats.
Okay, until the brother come in, I'm gonna show this video. Bear with me, y'all. Have patience. Patience is a virtue. Hurry up and wait. Hurry up and wait. You understand? For real. Hurry up and wait. Now, let me get in touch with this brother. See where he at. Let's see. Okay, let's see. What am I looking for? First, I want to show this right quick. What was it? It was. Okay. There. Bear with me. Still bear with me. Mm-hmm. Hello? What'd you say?
Okay, so it is just asking for email address.
You should be able to just take the link in like last time. You'll be able to come in.
Just come in. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you type the link in like you did last time, you should be able to come in.
Where? Okay, well,
At
I don't see any place where it's
engine.
asking. Huh?
You got to type it in the search engine again.
Oh, Oh, I got it. Okay.
Yeah. Are you on your computer?
Yeah.
Yeah, just type it on the top search engine
Oh,
with
okay.
www dot, you know what I'm saying, and all that, and then you should be able to come on.
Well, I am on StreamYard. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm on the first page, but I just need to know where I need to type in the code that you gave me.
Like I said, you got to type it in the search engine at the
Oh,
top.
at the top.
Yeah,
Okay.
at the top.
Okay, the code, just the code, not the website.
Everything. www.streamyard.com / and whatever link it was.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, let me go ahead and do this.
Oh, I hate when this stuff do this. Oh my God. Computer, they try to say these computers are smart and they dumb as hell.
Well, they're so smart until they are dumb.
Right.
It's like you go so far north, you end up south.
Right. Right.
You end up back south. Okay, www.streamyard.com. Slash.
Right.
Okay. K8T2IC.
Yeah, well.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. I'm right there. Okay, there I am. There's my big dragon. Okay.
I got you.
Okay, so I can run this up.
Okay, we in. So you got a presentation you want to do, so I'll just let you go on about that.
Yes. Well, I've been studying the study guide for Blavatsky's Secret Doctrine, and I'm on part 5, which is a lecture by a guy by the name of Pablo Senders, The Secret Doctrine, part 5. So he's on this part, he's talking about, okay, we're like, okay, you have like these 7, it shows how consciousness is arches down and then arches back up. But on one side of the arch, on the descending arch, there are 3 spheres. And then there's the bottom sphere, which is where we're at. Okay, the 3 spheres above us, and then there's 3 more on the other side. These are considered root races. And then within each root race, you have 7 sub-root races. So it takes, you got to go through 7 sub-root races to go through one sphere to the next one. And so we're down here at the bottom sphere where we're at, we're at the central level of our evolution, which is our lowest because we're in the physical. So now, and then at the same time, we're the 4th root race, and our current race is the 5th sub race of the 4th root race. So there's 3 more to come after us. But and then after that, we ascend to the next globe.
Is this related? These races are related to the evolution?
No, Blavatsky. I don't think so. I mean, who knows? But a lot of the information from the sacred doctrine is pretty much a lot of the basic information that a lot of the major occultists like Rudolf Steiner, Alan Watts, and many others, Bennett, Miss, what's her name? Bassett. I have her name. Annie Bassett, many others, you know.
Her name Annie Bassett.
Yes.
How you spell it?
Annie Bassett.
Like Annie
I-E.
I-E.
Yes.
And
A-N-N-I-E.
how you spell the last name?
B capital B-E S-A-N-T.
S-A-N-T.
Yes.
All right, good. Go ahead. You can go ahead.
Okay, so this, all right, so we're on the fourth root race, and in this fourth root race, our current civilization is the fifth sub race, and we're in the overlap between the fifth and the sixth sub race. And so, however, in this evolutionary cycle that we're in, there's some people through spiritual gnosis can speed this whole process up and can, jump millions and millions of years ahead of the average person. But at the sixth level where we're at, right? Well, at the level where we're at down here is where, okay, you had descending down from out of unconscious unity to where we are into the physical realm and plateauing. So that energy has to be overcame. There has to be resistance against that energy to completely neutralize it, so we can begin a new energy where conscious is sending back up into conscious unity. And so this is why we're having so much friction, so much, we're going through so much adversity at this time, because this is normal. And not only that, but
And you said this is not related to human evolution.
this is definitely human influence.
No, I said this is related to human evolution.
Oh, yes, definitely related to human evolution, because
we're not talking about biological evolution. We're talking about
no. We're talking about from the spiritual, etheric into the physical and back up into the etheric and spiritual and to the 0 point. And then and when that process is completed, then that is what is called a day of Brahma. A day of Brahma, which is, I think, is something like 8.8 billion years. See, this is a long evolutionary process that we're in. And within this long evolutionary process are many cycles of cycles of cycles of cycles. And so, this is probably where a lot of our mythology has come from, because we've been down here so long and we've gone through this evolutionary round 3 other times prior to this. And so we've been here before. And obviously the other times when we were here, consciousness prevailed and ascended back up the arch again. And which means there was enough energy to neutralize the opposing energy that was the descending energy the energy descending from out of unconscious unity. And so this is where we're at. Now, this is where Rudolf Steiner comes in, because I was relating what Blavatsky is teaching through the sacred doctrine, and what Rudolf Steiner was teaching through the Ahriman manifestation. The Ahriman manifestation is nothing new. This has happened down here before, most likely in the the 3 other rounds prior to this one.
Right.
And yeah, and so this is a normal opposing force at this time in our evolution, in that we must be completely developed enough to be able to face this energy head on and use it along with our ascension going back up, and rather it being something that catches us by guard. Because also from the Rudolf Steiners, you had the Orwellians, and with 1984, the Brave New World. You had literature like that, which is obviously based on what the world would be like, assuming we didn't get our shit together right here and now, and we did allow the Ari man to come in and to take us completely off of our evolutionary path, because that's what the purpose of the Ari man is, unless we're able to consciously confront it with the right gnosis, on the right, with the right energy, to be able to neutralize that shit, and we turn it and use it.
So we have to be in a certain state of consciousness.
Yes, we have to be at a certain level of development spiritually, because we're now coming to an age where you cannot rely on the material no more. That was a part of the descending out of conscious unity into the physical. Okay, but now we're overlapping into the new age, going back up. So now we have to begin applying resistance to completely neutralize the opposing energy, the Ahrimanic energy, and to be able to absolutely confront it with absolute.
Is this what you're talking about? The Rama Avena?
I believe so.
It's a Hindu spring festival that celebrates the birthday of Sri Rama.
Okay. It's called the Mahakap.
The who?
No, this is the Mahakap. Kalp. Okay, the Mahakap. Oh, this is Hinduism.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I mean, it sounds Hindu.
Yeah, the Maha, Maha, and then capital Kalp.
Kalp.
Yes.
Okay.
I believe that's the correct spelling. Unfortunately, I was using closed caption, and Pablo has a very thick accent.
Right.
Yeah, I would suggest that everyone check out Pablo Sender's the Theosophical Society and the Sacred Doctrine. There's 8 parts to it. A lot of revealing information.
You see, are you looking at the screen right now?
Yes, I'm looking at it.
Okay, is this what you're speaking on right here?
Well, I'm kind of new at this, so If it's talking about, see, Brahma, like each round is equals 1 day, and so there's supposed to be 100 years of this, and that 100 years is what is called the Mahakap, or they call it the Mahakap hour, or the great age of Brahma.
So it's the division of time, Kappa. Okay, the ancient Indians were not aware of the theories of relativity, but they were familiar with the concept of space and relative time. They believed that the duration of time changes from world to world, and they our time and that our time was not the absolute. They distinguished between the cosmic time of the gods and the earthly time of ours. According to them, the gods were immortal, who lived longer and are a more intense life. They were subject to a different time frame and had their own period of activities and rest. These constituted their days and nights when the highest supreme self was aware. They believed he would expand outwardly and manifest his objective world, and when it was time for rest, he would withdraw into himself and bring the world and bring the world and the entire creation to a temporary halt. This is a this is similar to the expansion of contracts of the material universe, according to the modern theories of the origins of the universe. In Hinduism, time is known as kala. Kala means both time and death. Time
Mm-hmm.
is personified as the god of death. Time is personified as the god of death. Wow, that's deep.
Mm.
It says
Yeah.
Yama, because death is a limited factor in human life. Kala,
Mm-hmm.
as god of death, determines how long a person shall live upon earth. So death and time are associated together, and individual times upon earth begins with his birth and ends with his death. However, for the soul there is no death. It has no time, because it is without a beginning and without an end. The concept of time in Hindu is based on our own experience of time as recurring and predictable phenomenon measurable in types of units such as day and night or months
Okay.
and years. Just
Okay. I
as
think
there is a regulatory to our days and night, there is a regulatory to the days and nights of the gods.
Oh, damn. This shit could go on. Okay, this is, yeah, I mean, they just touched on a part of that, but that itself could be a subject that could go on for a long time. But you hit something, and damn, I forgot the point I wanted to make. But oh, yeah. So our souls are immortal. All right. Now, according to this this philosophy of cycles here, our soul's been here for a very, very long time and has gone through this shit already before.
Right, right.
So, yeah. So the real question we should be asking ourselves, who the fuck are we? Who the fuck am I?
What's really going on here? Like, what's really
Yeah.
going on?
What's really, really going on? And this incarnation that I'm in is just not even a fucking whisper in the stage of in the cosmos and the
And mind
universe.
you,
Huh?
if you a Gnostic thinker, when they mention the gods, they're referring to you and your.
Yeah.
This would be real. We are the gods. Why? Because
Mm-hmm.
we're experiencing this reality in this dimensional realm, and it depends on whether you discover yourself, you realize and wake up and remember that, oh,
Mm-hmm.
it's greater than what I've been told as a human in a human sense.
Yeah.
You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
we the gods that they're speaking of. When it's a God time, it's a time of God, a time that God uses to measure a duration of time, and then a human
Mm-hmm.
version of that stuff.
Yes. Yeah. The human version. Oh my God. That mother. Damn. It's forever. I mean, this what they call rounds goes on for like it's like 8.8 billion years. And then there's going to be 100 years of that, which is 200 years, 200, 100 awake and 100 sleep. And then the universe is dissolved after that. I mean, that's a number you can't even count.
Think about this though. People are so-called living lesser time now, so that could kind of alter the that evolutionary um, process because like people are dying at younger ages now. Like this is take some characters in the Bible that they say of mythologies or whatever, but some of them
Mm-hmm.
characters live to 500 years old.
Yeah. Well, you see, here's the thing though. On the astral realm or the emotional plane, there you can still gain knowledge over there, and you can undo. Well, that's purgatory. That's where you purge out all of your impurities and your attachments to this
Right.
bullshit and go on to the light and move on to the higher mental worlds. And you
Well,
can eventually evolve out of the human experience and go to the Diva Chan and the God level.
right. That's literally what Noble Drew Ali said in one of his quotes. He said, "I I I had to go to the spirit plane to do the work on the spirit plane or something like that."
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, man, well, that's what Brother Hemmett talks about, making your own magical beings or your own thought, using your own thought forms to create your own magical beings to do work for you.
Right.
Yeah, you can make thought forms, create thought forms. Well,
Well,
that's,
you're right. You're right, because there are thought forms that are actually attempting to persuade you in certain ways. So, if you took control of that realm as it pertains to
Mhm.
your existence, then you can actually control. This is why they in the Bible it said you have legions of demons and you have legions of angels
Yeah.
that are there. You know what I'm saying? Because mind you, all of the put it like this:
Hmm.
all of the characters in the Bible are you. You
Absolutely.
you just have to look at it. I mean, it depends on where you at in your evolution or where because you're Jesus,
Hmm.
you're all of these different characters. You actually are God too. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It
Hmm.
just how are you using these archetypes, energies to flow in the interest or manifest realities? Because if you're not manifesting reality, you basically if you're not creating reality, you're created
Yeah.
in reality.
Well,
You're
everybody's creating
you're
reality.
creating reality.
We're
Now,
all
let
masters of
me say
that.
it like this: if you're not creating reality, you're a creation of reality
Yeah.
of somebody's reality.
Yeah, that too. That too. But we're all masters of creation down here, whether it's good or bad.
Right.
Most of it is bad. Okay, most people don't know that if they turn the shit around and use that energy more constructively, they would be, oh my God, unstoppable.
Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
that's what the powers that be are afraid of.
Yeah, these people waking up because
If the general public had access to their higher powers, then it wouldn't be no control grid. They couldn't control people like they do. Like they do.
well, I'm here to hurt their feelings and let everyone know that they do have access to their higher power. It's called their mind and thinking and the heart and
Yeah,
and some balls, brass
right.
balls.
In the trying to achieve and control that realm, the actual mind is the heart and your physical mind in unity. That is the
Mm-hmm.
actual control system, right? If
Yeah.
your heart is out of whack and your mind is out of whack, then this is why you see the depictions of Jesus with his heart of flame and his crown chakra of flame, right? Because
Yeah.
both are necessary in order for you to guide yourself through your evolution.
Well, they forgot to put the fire at the bottom because it starts from the root chakra.
Right. I think I've seen the Baphomets with the chakra at the bottom lit.
Well, he got the erect penis, but let me show you this candle, this La Santisima Muerte candle.
Right.
Okay, when you light it, the flame would be here in the head, and then it'll be in the heart, and then it'll be in her pussy.
Right.
As it goes down, it goes from the head all the way down, and then down to her pussy, all the way down to her feet.
Right.
So he's letting you know.
It's the unity of these polarities that allow you to control and navigate properly.
Yeah, absolutely. Which, our soul's been down here through 3 rounds prior to this. Subconsciously, we all know all this. We just don't know that we know this.
Right. You definitely right. Subconsciously, we already know.
Yeah, because we've been here before and we defeated this energy that we had to defeat. And so we're here again and we got to do the same thing again. Everyone is going to have to put their consciously bring up the higher God, the energy that's needed to neutralize the energy that must be neutralized and get the energy started that must be started so we can ascend higher.
Right, because a lot of people are under the misconception that they're supposed to shun their lower self. No. You
need both of them.
You have to marry your lower. You have to marry your lower self with your higher self. You have to marry them.
Yeah, because there cannot be consciousness without duality. Duality was the beginning of consciousness. That's when we fell out of unconscious unity into differentiation, which is duality. That was the beginning of consciousness, because prior to that was unconscious unity. But
right, because
now
before duality, how could you be aware of anything? Because there was nothing else to be aware of.
Right. And so this was something we had to experience. Both the physical matter and spirit are both one of the same, 2 polarities of the same thing, and they must be balanced. You can't just say, I'm just, put my ego to death and that's it. I'm all spirit. Then you're just part of the equation. You need both. Both of them have to be balanced.
I think the society is using that magic because, as a matter of fact, let's look at this video right quick. I think it's about 10 minutes, so have patience. Look at this video right quick.
Okay, no problem.
So I want to get your opinion on this right here. Look.
Okay.
Ancient cultures, taking a more ethnographic or scientific approach to it. Anthropologists will often define magic as the application of beliefs, rituals, or actions practiced within the view that they can subdue
Can you hear it?
I can hear it, but I can't understand it. It's like it's I can't describe it. I can hear the sound, but I can't understand what they're saying with it. The sound, it's kind of garbled.
Wow. I can turn it up more. Maybe you maybe have to turn up your speaker.
I turned up my speaker. The louder I turn my speaker up, I can hear it loud, but I can't understand what they're saying.
Or more recent history, you have people like Crowley with his Thelema defining magic as the science and art that provokes change in conformity with the will, meaning that all intentional acts are arguably acts of magic.
So they're basically saying, Aleister Crowley was saying that intention of will is magic, right?
Oh, wait. Okay, I turned my speaker off. No, say that again.
They're just going over. I was just saying because you said you didn't hear. They were talking about how Aleister Crowley was talking about magic.
Oh, yeah.
Intentional will is magic.
Oh, well, yeah, of course. I mean, the thing about Crowley, you know how old he was when he died?
Oh,
72.
wow.
Yeah, and he named all 72 of the demons or the keys of Solomon, and he died at 72, just like C. Freeman Nail.
He died at 72 too?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
He was dealing with them keys too.
Yep, he was dealing with them keys.
Yeah. So
mm-hmm.
That's probably they ascended at 72, at 73.
Mm-hmm.
Or they went, they you know what I'm saying, they transitioned.
Oh, yeah.
Taking note of the philosophers like Schopenhauer, Crowley thought that our will had the ability to merge with the flow and energy of the universe and affect the world around us. So by channeling our will together with focused intention, he thought we could change our reality. Because, in short, the thelemic system is founded on the idea that the individual is a microcosmic image of the universe, or of God, depending on your belief.
Did you hear what they just said?
I little bits and pieces.
They saying that the philosophy is that everyone is a microcosm of the universe and everybody basically is a god. This is the philosophy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's the basic philosophy. They're just telling you the basics.
Yeah, that is the basic philosophy. You can't help but believe that because we are within the all and we never left the all. And so, and there's nothing but the all, and our soul is an aspect of the all. So it's a miniature, individualized aspect of the eternal. And it can do, that little tiny chart is the entirety of the all within that little tiny chart, the spark.
Right.
So
they talking, and it's like in that small amount of space time, you got the whole universe.
Yeah, just like it. I mean, you can't see atoms, you can, but they got these things spinning around them and stuff. Yeah, within that seed, the black seed, the black dot is a whole nother universe. Just like on the Men in Black when they were looking for Orion's belt, that the galaxy on
Orion's belt. It was on. It
was
hanging on that thing on
the
cat
pearl.
Wow.
Yeah, and it had the entire universe in there. And they were saying, "Wow, how can you fit the whole universe in there? It's in something that small." Just because it's small, that doesn't mean nothing.
Right. That gives
there's this thing.
relevance to the law of correspondence, where everything have a corresponding duplicate in a whole nother plane of existence. Like, and then also the fact that I want to go over that again, the hermetic principles and shit, the seven hermetic principle of self mastery. You got to understand this in order for you to master yourself. But
Yeah.
let me go. Let this go a little bit more.
We too can create and cause changes in the world. Seems pretty cool so far, but let's keep going. If we look at the root of the word magic itself, we find it comes from the Greek magos, which in turn came from the old Persian word magush, which was their word for magi, or priest. But coming back a little further, even magush comes from the Proto-Indo-European verb mag or meg, which meant to be able, suggesting the root of the word magic is just the act of enabling something to happen.
Ooh, you hear that?
What'd she say? The word magic to be.
They just gave you the etymology of magic, and it says it goes back to Persia, which means magi priest, priest, right? But then you go deeper into it. The word magi just means to be able.
Yeah, I heard that.
To be able.
Well, that's a word I use in my rituals all the time. That's one of the words in one of the names I use for myself.
Right.
The Grandmaster Magi.
So it's basically you enabling yourself to be yourself. You're enabling yourself to be yourself.
Once whatever that is.
That you are the all. You are part of the all. Or I wouldn't even say a part. You are the all.
Yeah. But how do you describe you? That's undescribable. So, man, that's where do you start on that one?
Where do you start? Let's go further.
Plus, the root of the word magic is just the act of enabling something to happen.
Enabling something to happen.
In a modern sense, you might think of magic as the ability to create coincidences. You could even say that if spirituality is learning about the soul, magic is the act of applying it.
If spirituality is knowing about the soul, magic is applying the soul. Magic is applying the soul.
Weaponizing the shit.
In line with the Egyptian concept of Heka, translated as
it was called Heka, the great work, the first work.
First work, or the great work. To give you a better idea of this whole coincidence thing, the anthropologist Evans Pritchard wrote his groundbreaking work on witchcraft.
So that's your sole purpose.
Yeah. And
that's what they mean by your sole purpose. What's your sole purpose? To apply the soul. To apply the soul. That's the sole purpose.
Let the soul run everything.
Sande people of North Central Africa and uses the example of a granary. He tells us that if a person is killed by the collapse of the granary, the Azande will call it witchcraft. This doesn't mean they deny that the poles on which the granary rested were destroyed by termites. And they know very well that many people rest under a granary in summer, so it could be coincidence. However, that the granary collapsed in exactly the moment in which a specific human being, who was the target, sat under it, and not a moment before or after, is believed to be the result of witchcraft. Now, of course, this is a specific case. I would hope you're not going to go dropping buildings on people, but you get the idea. You're not going to shoot fireballs out of your hands or call down a storm, but it is possible to create a string of coincidences or synchronicities by doing specific actions that will benefit you somehow. Is that a thing? Absolutely, yes. Yeah, historically speaking, as far back as the middle...
she's giving you the basic rudimental essentials of what magic is. Put it like this. You're already doing magic already, y'all. Y'all already doing it. You're just doing it against yourself right now.
Yeah.
Already
Yeah.
doing
You
it.
see,
So stop trying to act like when somebody doing it is like you're not doing it yourself. You just don't understand what's going on. Basically, it's crazy. Go ahead.
yeah, I mean, basically all you're doing is willing all of the forces, all of the powers, all of the essences, dark matter and dark energy into being your will, serving all of your will's objectives, intentions, and desires, crystallizing them all into physical realization, actualization, and form as you will and command it to be.
Exactly. And you're doing it already.
Yeah. You're either doing it for you or you're doing it against you. Yeah.
You got to perfect it, though.
Well,
you already doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Paleolithic, Old Stone Age, we start to get evidence of religious behavior as well as the first burials. Belief in an afterlife and spirits really starts to come into its own during the Upper Paleolithic, around 40 to 45,000 years ago. Cave paintings like Le Chaux and Dordogne in France show that people began to believe in supernatural beings at least as early as 32,000 years ago. The earliest forms of magic were sympathetic, using figurines or effigies to link a ritual to the real stuff. And then there's apotropaic, using amulets to ward off evil or bring good luck.
I think
what's kind of interesting though is
that's inspired me to want to try and make that possibly be the next show. How to make your own amulets.
Yeah. Well, like I've been, thinking about our evolution, how many times we already been around this thing, and and God knows how many days of Brahma that we've seen so far, because there's supposed to be 100 years of Brahma. We can probably do way more magic than that. There's probably way farther more magic than that than we can do, than they're letting us know. They just don't. I don't think they really want us to know. But I think,
of course, and then it's the factor of having that factor of having that melanin, dark, radiated energy that enhances it. It enhances what you do magic as a melanated. You got that energy. You already are essentially on a physical level the manifestation of that primal energy, that primal force is melanin.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. That's the force that once you spiritualize your melanin, it becomes an active intelligence. And once it becomes an active intelligence, that's why I call myself the Dark Magic Dragon. Because the Dark Magic Dragon stands for melanin spiritualized and into an actual intelligence.
Right.
An active intelligence, rather.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that melanin.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that melanin, that dark matter can make a lot of things happen. It can make things happen.
Man, at the end of the day, you are more prone to making your magic manifest for you, having that melanin. And it's not even that, because everybody on the planet has melanin.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not exiting out. This is not something I'm exiting anyone out.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, because of your darker melanin, your spells are going to manifest more potently if you know how to utilize, you know what I'm saying, what you already have inside of you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, turn it into an active intelligence.
half animal doing some kind of dance that has been interpreted as early signs of shamanism or transformation magic, where the shaman will shapeshift into other beasts. In short, a mixture of shamanistic and animistic beliefs are what compromised the world's first religion. Now, our first Western concept of magic and spirituality is rooted in the ancient Judeo-Christian and Greco-Roman systems, as well as being heavily influenced by the Egyptian mystery cults. And while we can't really say for sure what form these early practices took, one of the cornerstones of all the later Renaissance and medieval manuscripts were the Greco-Egyptian magical papyri. These ancient scrolls were written in different places, but mostly come from Hellenic Egypt in around 100 BC to 400 AD. They include magical recipes involving animals.
And why all that information and all that science was in Egypt is because Egypt was a continuation of Atlantis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the problem with Atlantis, though, Atlantis ran into some serious problems, and that civilization ended up being destroyed before its time. They met a lot of resistance. They were at a they were at the point where the spiritual was becoming physical.
Mm.
They were at the point where
they had already predicted all of that.
Yeah, they were coming out of the spiritual into the physical, and the spiritual part of them was not able to handle the material part, and the material part was taken over, and it was producing absolute evil, and it had to be taken out.
Right.
Yeah, that's a normal part of our evolution too.
Substances, along with instructions for ritual preparations, hymns, lists of spells, and different formulas that paved the way for all the later experiments of the medieval period. PGM4 also contains one of the only existing cases of a mystery initiation that was written down. And while it's often thought that magic died out with the rise and spread of Christianity, actually, early Christians were pretty chill about it. In the Gospel of Matthew, we have the classic Jesus story where he was visited by 3 wise men, you know the one, who were regarded as magi, Zoroastrian priests with a knowledge of astrology and alchemy, bringing Jesus classical alchemical ingredients. In fact, the original Gospel never actually mentioned there being only 3. It only said that they brought 3 gifts, but the Syriac churches say there were 12 or more. In the book of Acts, however, we see the story of Simon Magus, who tried to buy the miraculous powers of the disciples, an act that the medieval church associated with demons, which led to the belief that magic was somehow competing against the true miracles of God and the church, which, unfortunately, is what led to the church publicly associating magic.
Yeah, because the church at the time was worried politically that people would get access to this knowledge, and now it will make the church seem insignificant. And that's why the heritage wars were around, where they will kill people for even studying the occult. You know what I'm saying? They will kill people they will call them witches, right?
Yeah,
because they were studying this, and they will call heritage.
Yeah.
Right. So why? Because the church was threatened by the mass majority of the people being able to access their inner power.
Yeah, because the church represents the old power, the old energy, the descending energy that's now horizontal energy. Okay, it want to stay horizontal. It doesn't want to ascend.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, the devil.
Right. This is why they start demonizing a lot of those sciences, a lot of those practices. They start saying that's demonization. I mean, Satanism. Right.
Yeah.
Why? Because especially for so-called black people, you know what I'm saying? That's our spirituality right there. What they call it Satanism.
Yeah. Well,
that's what we need to be doing.
What Bobby Hemming.
Satanism, we need to be doing that shit more.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course, because everything they don't want us to do is what it's going to take to neutralize that old evolution energy,
right,
and begin
I
the new energy.
I like what you just said, because that old evolution that it's a like they're superimposing their version of this evolution upon humanity, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or they're overstaying their welcome.
Right. Some people say it's this energy that's like dragon energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you get these
Mm-hmm.
draconians? And then I was like, that's symbolic too, because what you're speaking of the serpent brain.
Absolutely. I mean, when you get up there to the top, it's no more human shit. It's all dragons and monsters and shit.
Listen, you right. You are definitely right. But we have to recognize that we have been misled for so we can't even grasp this stuff because we just been taken down so much of a different road from which we were supposed to be on that we don't even recognize is going on right now. Like I just had to tell everybody just now that you're doing magic already. But you're actually doing magic for somebody else though right now.
Well, that too. Unfortunately, yeah. Being made in the image of some other God.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we have to take the power back. Take the power back. Take the power back.
Well, yeah, I mean,
recognize your power.
Just use your own mind. Just think for your own self. And man, any type of knowledge, any real good knowledge of our evolution, our true evolution, is going to open up your mind anyway. You're going to all of a sudden go beyond all of the bullshit that we've been taught. All that shit just breaks down, just crumbles away. And now you start saying, what's really going on? What's really the case? What this mythology really saying about us, about me? And, what can I really do? And this energy that's opposing me, I don't have to be afraid of this energy no more, because I faced this energy before and defeated this energy, or we faced it.
Fear is
now. Yeah, and the ones who are in fear is them, not us. We shouldn't be the ones in.
Right.
Yeah.
See, they've reversed the polarities on our ass. And now it appears like they're in the superior position and we're in the inferior position. But they actually are the inferior ones.
Yes.
We are the superior.
Yeah. We're the superior ones. We just don't know it. But the cat's kind of out of the bag now, hopefully.
It really is. It really
is. Yeah, it should be.
Stuff like this come out where they got animated cartoons speaking about magic at the level that they saying. I mean, it's kind of basic, and we have some rebuttals to a lot of what they're saying, but for the most part, they're giving you a basics of and just getting rid of all of the misconceptions around this thing. That's what I think is really the groundbreaking thing that's happening. The misconceptions are coming off. We're getting rid of the misconceptions now.
Yeah. That shit is burning away. It's burning away. The fire, the Kundalini is rising. And when that Kundalini comes, it burns away all the lies. All the fake shit can't stand up to that Kundalini fire.
Right. It's like the Phoenix rising too. It's symbolic to the Phoenix rising.
Yeah.
And when
that's what
it destroys everything in its path, bro.
The unpure destroys it all. And that's what we have to do. We have to raise that Kundalini fire, that serpentine dragon fire, and kill all the vampires.
Right.
Right. It's symbolic, but
magic and blessings themselves. So lessons for thee and not for me? Perhaps.
They just talked about the contradiction of the church, how they're using divination, they're using these rituals inside of the church, but they cornered the market on these things, and now they say, oh, what they're doing is evil, and what we're doing is for God.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, and they're doing a hell of a head trick on people.
Man, people are just totally oblivious as it pertains to these spiritual concepts, bro. They're oblivious. They are under programming like crazy. Because you can't even introduce it. It's like an emotional thing too that's entangled into it, because we can't even talk about this subject to most people.
No, you can't. No,
they so emotionally entangled into what somebody has given them for so many years, and they don't realize that all that stuff, that the perspective of how they come at you from the church, institutionalized church, that was meant for people who are initiates into higher lessons, right? See, they giving you what kids supposed to learn in the church. That's what kids supposed to learn. You ain't supposed to be learning that same stuff in the church at 60-something years old.
I don't think I would give that shit to my kids.
No,
to be honest with you,
I wouldn't give it to the kids either. But what I'm saying is, essentially, that's where that came from. They used to tell these stories to the children, and the moral of the story, all that was telling you, trying to get them to higher aspects of understanding of themselves. That's what I'm saying. I don't want my children either. That shit, not in the perspective like, if I'm going to read the Bible to my children, I'm going to give them the esoteric version of it.
Oh yeah, me too. Yeah, first I'm gonna teach them all the metaphysical stuff first, and then we'll go to the Bible. And then I tell them, what you think about this? How do you feel about this metaphysically? What do you think this is really saying beneath the surface? Not what it's literally saying. Forget about that. When you read this book, do not go by the apparent. No. Right. If you go by the apparent when you read this book, you will be stupid.
Right, and that's crazy because they know that is a lower level of understanding of this stuff, and they keep people in that lower level purposely. But it's not like they're doing it; it's you doing it. It's you refusing to get see your self-development as important. Because I look at this as all self-development. It's self-development. Like, over years, you're not who you were a minute ago, who you are in this particular second. Like, you constantly evolving. There's nothing consistent in the universe except change.
Yeah, I don't have the same sales today that I had this time last year.
Right.
Yeah. So but they're still reading the same Sunday school Bible verses today as they did last year. Oh my God.
Look.
Oh God.
This what kills me is when I run into some of these Black Power cats, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, ain't you still regurgitating some of the same talking points of the 60s?
Well, they're no different from they're no different from the religious people. They are religious people, but they're not using religion. They're using something else in a religious way.
They using politics as their new religion, basically.
Yeah. Yes. They're using all the shit that none of our ancestors put up, left for us to use.
Right.
Yeah.
I wanted to finish this because they were going to get on something that I wanted to do to address right quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Christianity, medicinal remedies found in monks' manuscripts tended to combine Christian formulas and rites with Germanic folk rituals to empower
See,
natural.
that was interesting too. How they talked about how a lot of these holistic medicinal remedies come from
Mm-hmm.
the occult realm, homie.
Oh,
That do not come from modern science.
yeah,
It comes from the occult.
yeah.
This is this is what you call a witch doctor. My grandmother was a witch doctor, meaning
Or you can call it alchemy.
was a witch doctor. Basically, she was a
Yeah,
witch doctor, right? Meaning she knew what herbs to take, motherfucker.
yeah,
She
yeah.
knew
She
what
was
herbs
an
to take
earth.
when your ass gets some shit and you probably bleeding inside or something.
Uh-huh.
She knew what herbs to take to heal that inside bleeding.
Yeah, so that doesn't sound like a witch doctor. That sounds like an earth doctor. And she
Well,
know how to
they
use
were,
the
they
earth
were
to heal
they
you.
look, they were referred to as witch doctors, bro. That was what they were referred to as witch doctors. But I'm
Yeah, that's
saying,
what they were referred to, but they're
yeah,
using the earth to heal you.
yeah,
Yeah. And they call them witch. That's how backwards. But that's that we're in the Ahrimanic age. This is the Ahrimanic age, man. This is the Ahrimanic influences that is here now
right.
that we have to
But at
face and
the end of the
overcome.
day, the witch is not something to shun. The witch come etymology, or you looking at the linguistics of it, comes from the bitch. The bitch was, you know how most women, especially so-called black women, they were referred to them as a bitch, right? Why?
Yeah.
Because she's tapped into her primal self at that level.
Yeah,
So
and plus they
she's
are.
not,
And
she's not, she's not. That's why a lot of times she's disagreeable. Yes, this
Mhm.
she is going to be disagreeable. She's accessing her primal energy. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Unless,
going to be disagreeable to everything that you think is agreeable.
yeah, if you're not on the right frequency, she's going to be disagreeable. But if you're on the right frequency, oh, she
Listen,
gonna be your killer.
exactly. Exactly.
She
She gonna be
gonna
your
be
best
your
friend,
killer.
and you know what I'm saying? You gonna want. That's why they always say you can't you gonna want you a good woman next to you to make your balance your forces, your pursuits in balance,
Mm-hmm.
bro. Because she's just
Mm-hmm.
gonna take you to a whole nother level. And also you gotta realize they call it in ancient time the Shakti,
Mm-hmm.
right? Every deity had a Shakti, meaning they had them like and not all Shaktis were literal physical entities. They Shaktis were just the feminine energy that
Okay.
was it was just the Shakti is like just the feminine energy. Like for example, when you see a lot of the depictions of the deities, like Buddha, you will see a lot of times he would have like an oval shape behind him in the
An
background,
oval shape.
like an oval shape with it, and it kind of looked like the shape of the vagina.
Oh, okay. Like a pest. What they call that with the two fishes?
I can't think of it right now,
But it's
but
really a pussy. I mean, a vagina.
yes, that's what that is. It's called the
Yeah.
Shakti. Shakti
Yeah.
energy is feminine energy that you can utilize in your magic, in intentions, whatever you trying to get to manifest. You can, you know what I'm
Well,
saying?
yeah,
And
you gotta have the female. You gotta have the feminine energy in your magic. If you don't, you're not doing magic because that's the side of the tree that teaches the magic.
yeah,
Bana, intelligence.
right, 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 no doubt.
That would cure ailments supposedly caused by poisons, elf attacks, demonic possession, or other invisible forces. We all know how the early church appropriated pagan holidays. Nudge, nudge. And seriously, elf attacks are serious business. You don't want to mess with an elf. During the Middle Ages, the church divided the concept of magic into natural, which focused on using nature, God, heal, and perform miracles, and demonic, which focused around demonology and divination, and, pretty much anything not coming from God.
Now, let's go into, because they said that the church broke down magic into these two components of light magic and dark magic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which both are necessary. So you're not supposed to separate them. You're just looking at two sides of the same energy.
Same polarity, two
Yeah, the
sides.
same
Where they
energy.
try to turn it into dualities.
Right.
Yeah.
But they saying that's demonization or demonization, or not demonization, but demonic worship and demonic. Now, when you look up the etymology of demon, right?
Yeah.
That's what demon actually means, bro.
Genius.
Genius.
Yeah.
Oh my freaking God, bro.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yes.
That's so y'all
Gene.
better get this, man. This is
Huh?
what they trying to keep you away from your genius.
Yeah. The genie in the lamp. Okay.
Right.
The genie in the lamp. The lamp is the pineal gland. You rub it, and the genie comes out. The black dot.
So
Give you three wishes.
they're telling you,
The jinn.
they're telling you that we are demonizing this, pun intended, demonizing this, right? So you don't get into it, so you don't recognize your genius.
Right. We're hiding yourself from you. We're hiding you from yourself, from your real true self. We don't want you to know who you really are, because once you know who you really are, we can't control you anymore. And if we can't control you, we can't be God here no more.
Woo!
And if we can't be God here, we don't know what the fuck we gonna do.
Exactly.
Which is really important to this belief in, quote-unquote, selling your soul, and magic became much more demonized. But like telling a kid not to do something, this basically led to the golden age of magic. Grimoires, books of spells, became very popular and widespread, and it's around this time that we get some of the most famous magical texts. It's actually really funny. Despite the church outlawing any kind of book that contained divination, necromancy, and demonology, there's a lot of evidence that the medieval clergy were the main practitioners of magic, and thus the owners, transcribers, and circulators of
None of unless they were drawing from, because the energy of that world is gone now. So if you're trying to cast those spells right now, we're supposed to be creating new spells. We're supposed to be creating new spells now.
Yeah, because
right.
Yeah, the old gods are supposed to have evolved. Yeah.
grimoires, with over 7 grimoires to be exact, being written by popes alone. Like, what exactly? Later during the Renaissance, there was renewed interest in ancient Middle Eastern practices, Neoplatonic mysticism, and Arabic texts on alchemy and astrology. Marsilio Ficino studied astral magic and the power of music to channel cosmic influences. Pico Mirandola sought hidden knowledge in Jewish Kabbalah, while Giordano Bruno explored the mystical Hermetica, which helped to lay the groundwork for much of modern science and the age of discovery. If you don't know any of these names, that's okay. All you gotta know is during the Renaissance, and did some pretty big stuff for Western civilization. Fast forwarding to our modern era, magic is often divided into different kinds of groups. Now, you can make the argument that magic is simply energy work, and there's really only one kind that's just expressed in different ways.
It
right?
is. That's it. See how they just tried to make it seem like it's this compartmentalized thing. That, no, you said it was right, and all it is energy work. Working with the energy that's available around you, that's a part of you. That's it. That's all magic actually is. They're just dividing it into because the European, his mind is, he compartmentalized everything because that's how his mind works. He has to
And
compartmentalize.
plus he think in a linear. He's not holistic.
Right.
He's not a cyclical creature.
Right.
I mean, he doesn't know that he is. He is, but he tries to be linear and thinks he's
Exactly.
linear when we're all
Right.
cyclical creatures. Yeah, you just go on and on and on and on.
Different arts, like divination, astrology, there's also geomancy, you got alchemy, meditation, evocation, and necromancy too. Just to name a few, of course. If you've ever looked into modern magic at all, you've probably come across the whole right versus left-hand path dichotomy. If you ask followers of neo-pagan religions or New Age circles, they'll often tell you that it equates basically with white and black magic, or that some magic is good and others are bad. A belief carried over from the early church.
Yes.
But here's the thing though, the whole thing is kind of pointless. If magic is just the control and direction of energy, it isn't really good or bad. Magic has no color. There's only energy and yourself. While working through magic, you might find that elements of the energy are alive in their own way.
I love what they just said. I love this. This is what I'm talking about the misconceptions coming off.
Oh yeah, dark magic, black magic. It's just
magic.
energy.
It's just energy
No
and you utilizing the energy. See, and really is more of us getting rid of all the false concepts that's been told to us.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
And then
once you get rid of all those false concepts, you start really realizing who you actually are, what's going on here. How could you actually tap into these different aspects of yourself, superpowers?
actually you just tap on in. You just start tapping.
Most don't know that they can. That's what I'm saying. We already we already doing it now.
Yeah,
They don't even know that they're doing it, so they don't know how to control it.
Yeah. Well, a word to them: there's no such thing as outside of the all. You're inside, not outside.
Right.
You can't get lost.
No. No.
No, you can't get lost in here.
Fast. Think of magic like a hammer. It can be used to hit someone, sure, but can also be used to build a house. That doesn't make the hammer good or bad. It's what you do with it that counts. The whole concept of right-hand path versus left-hand path originates actually in Indian Tantra. But most modern-day occult groups who abide by one or the other do so out of wanting to control their members.
For wanting to control their damn members.
What was that?
It's the right hand, left hand. Don't do this. Don't do the right hand because they just want to control you. That's the only reason they telling you that.
Mm-hmm.
Magic they can.
Don't do the left hand.
In fact, many left-hand magicians see the notion of karma as self-imposed, or a tool used by dogmatic spiritual groups to control the actions of their members. Some modern occultists, like Peter Carroll, have stressed that both paths can actually be followed at once, as they essentially have similar goals: self-empowerment and creating change.
You see how they speaking on it as if that's not already happening. Like both sides can be used. You already using both sides.
Well, what they're not telling you is that there's a middle pillar too.
Yeah, you're right. There is a middle pillar. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So go into that.
Yeah. You got the middle pillar of the tree, and then you have the left and the right. So you stay in the middle and you balance the left and the right. Because in the middle,
the self balanced out is the middle pillar.
Yeah, because in the middle you got the kingdom at the bottom, you got the foundation above that, you got the sun, beauty, you got Doth, and then you have the crown in the middle pillar. And Doth is the gateway out. So why wouldn't you want to be on the middle pillar? There's no
Yeah.
But on a more practical level, the right-hand path focuses on worshiping deities, with the eventual end goal of becoming one with them, or experiencing transcendence, working to completely dissolve back into source. The left-hand path, though, tends to embrace the dark as well as the light in order to invoke the alchemical formula Resolve et Coagula, dissolve and precipitate, confronting the negative in order to transmute it into desirable qualities. Rather than merging with the source and
that's alchemy, mental alchemy.
the ego, left-hand practitioners normally aim to reunite with the divine and take an extra step to separate themselves again, but retain that creation ability to become their own god and create their own reality. Think of it as enlightenment, but retaining the ego. Now, of course, this is a huge oversimplification of the craft, but hopefully you get the general idea. It's important to note that Sanskrit, Bhamakara, from which the modern left-hand system comes via Madame Blavatsky, was simply seen as another path to enlightenment that was against the orthodox Vedic scripture because it incorporated Hindu taboos such as ritual sex, drinking alcohol, and eating meat, but wasn't considered bad or evil, just a different path. So, if we were to bring all of this together, magic is based heavily on your own morality. The same energy that's used to protect someone can also be used to curse them. But it's all on you and how you use it. While we can ask that you use better judgment and always come from a place of compassion, it's also important to develop your own resolve and morality, since your craft can be empowered by belief in ideology.
So this is why you have to be responsible for what, you know what I'm saying? Because this is why you have to be at a certain level of consciousness before you can realize. So this is how I can understand the initiate process. Why? Because if you just let someone know offhand they have this power and they start utilizing that power, they might not be mature enough.
Yeah.
And they're gonna
they might go out there and start creating a lot of bad karma for themselves.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Which
so
they'll have to pay.
You gotta be able to be responsible and accountable for the magic you're doing.
Yeah. Like I say, you don't want to create that bad karma.
While the left-hand path is often considered evil, it's just a path of no gods or authorities.
See, the path, the left, they say in the left, the right-hand path is the path of no gods and no authority.
No God.
No, I would more say you being the God and the authority.
Yeah.
Putting yourself at the mercy of a deity or the universe. But at the same time,
I'm not on the left or right. That's why I call myself an order out of chaos entity. You know what I'm saying? If you study what an entity is it's another word for omnipresent, not here, not there, but present. Right? So in order out of chaos, meaning my struggle is to balance within myself the order and the chaos, the negative and the positive, the lower and the higher, to marry the whole lower with the higher self.
They're all one. It's all one.
This is I see this as a process of mastery of self. Once you can do that, because you take control of the wheel at that time.
Yeah, as you go around the wheel.
Right.
Yeah, or whatever.
That was the end of that. So yeah, so I like how they was cleaning up some of the misconcepts of magic and the evilness about it, and I love that because you can't even have a conversation like you said with people because they already set in their heads this social programming that's forbidden.
Well, they are programs. There are limited programs. They're in the matrix. They're just programs in the matrix.
Wow. See, that's a whole nother thing. Every time we just go on to something else, that's a whole other topic in itself. How most of these people are actually nothing more than programs. You right.
Yeah,
There's nothing more. They can't even, like in the Matrix movie, they were the ones that what would they call them, the ones
the agents will manifest themselves.
They can take over their body.
Yeah, the agents can just walk right in and out.
I look at it as this: you either possess your demons, your genius, or your genius possess you.
Absolutely.
You either possess your demons, meaning you control them, or they control you.
Or they control you. They're calling the shots.
Or they're possessing you.
Yeah, and they will just run free like animals abandoned in the zoo.
Yes.
Yeah. They'll just come running out in the streets, attacking people and everything.
Right.
Eating up people's pets and everything. Yeah, the demons gone wild.
Demons gone wild.
Yeah, and don't be scared. Don't be scared of your demons. Oh my God, there's a demon.
They're gonna take advantage.
Oh, you're scared of me?
Right.
You think going to church is going to help you?
Right.
I got the word of God. The word of God.
Wow.
In the
They don't
name of
understand
Jesus.
how insignificant those things are in the scheme of the cosmic scheme of things, bro. They're leaving you powerless, and you got all the power within you. They're leaving you seemingly powerless.
Yeah.
You got all the power within you.
You got all the power, and they say, no. That's wrong. No, you're not supposed to have power. Be a slave. Listen to us, obey us.
Right.
Give us your energy. Yeah, give up your energy. Just give it to God. Give it to Jesus.
Look, that's crazy because the American gods. That's the basis of the whole damn show, is that the old gods are mad because they not getting worshipped by humans like they used to be. And guess what? Guess what a new god is in the show? Media.
Who? The media?
Right? Another new god is technology.
Okay.
In the show, that's a new god.
Okay.
What else is a new god? The world.
The world.
The world.
And what represents the old gods? What represent the old gods?
The old
what
gods
symbolizes
the old gods are like Odin and Spring and who else? Khalid. Khalid was in there too. Khalid, yep. Khalid was in there. Look, Khalid in the show, she's a waitress. She's a waitress.
She's a waitress.
She's a waitress. You gotta watch it, bro. You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it, bro. This is dope. Because I like how they're slowly but surely introducing these concepts into society like that. Their agenda is to control the narrative while people they can't stop the evolution, right? They can't stop the evolution. So we're going to try to control the evolution.
Sorry about that, cuz. Okay. Yeah. I'll talk to you later. Okay. Bye-bye. Sorry about that. That was my cousin.
Oh, no problem.
But yeah, I apologize.
Let people know it's really live. We really live, y'all.
We're really live. Yeah, we're live. We're live like the Jackson 5.
Right.
I remember when back in my drug days, when I order $100 worth of cocaine, I call my drug dealer. I said, "Can you send a limo over for the Jackson Fives?"
Ah!
I have 520s waiting. I need a
That was
limo for the
cold.
Jackson Fives.
That was the code right there.
Yeah. Yeah. So the old gods, are pissed, and damn, I'm surprised Kali was in there. Don't want to piss her off.
They got
But Kali,
they got a character that's a djinn in there.
as a djinn.
They actually got leprechauns.
Oh, okay.
They got leprechauns in the show. They got, you know what I'm saying, the fairies and
The
everything
fairies.
in there. Yeah, the fairies.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy, bro. So they going
Oh,
back.
they dropping it all in there.
Yeah, they dropping it all, bro.
They giving you all shit. How many millions of years of history compacted in a movie?
Right.
That's talking about all of our
how many hundreds
history.
of years of history compacted in the symbolism of these archetypes that are personified in these characters.
Oh, definitely. And that has power, those symbols.
Yes.
Power that goes straight to the subconscious mind.
Wow. Subconscious picks it up immediately. It's
Absolutely.
Like software, it's like software for the subconscious.
Absolutely.
Immediately, it taps it. Immediately, you like, if you own the path, if you own your path like you're supposed to be, you see these symbols and you be like, automatic. Oh shit!
Mm-hmm.
You have omens. It's like you have openings, man. It's like opening you up, bro.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we have to realize that they don't want us to realize our power. If you realize your power, you're like a Neo in the Matrix. You realize your power because what was the main objective is to overcome the fear so that you can do Matrix type shit.
Yeah, I mean, you had the machines. They had their objectives. Their objectives is to keep
Their program.
human evolution in an arrested state that benefits them perpetually. So as long as humanity stays in this arrested state, then they get to feed and stay alive and be the gods of their universe indefinitely.
They feed off.
Yeah, at the expense of the real being, which is the Ahriman incarnated and that succeeded. Which shows, that's showing you what happens when the Ahriman catches us off guard and and knock us out unconscious. And then we wake up, we're in a whole nother world. We're in a fucking haunted mansion. Yeah, so that's why.
It has to be, because I'm watching another show, man. I just been watching a lot of TV recently, like a lot of binging on a lot of mystical shows, like mythology, like it's modern mythology to me, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And the one that I've been watching recently heavily is what's called The Legends, right? That's
okay.
That's DC Comics, right?
Yeah.
And basically, the Legends are basically time cops. They go back in time to change certain anomalies, what they call aberrations. They call aberrations in time, meaning somebody went back in time, they changed some shit, and now it reverberated through all time and fucked up everything in time. Right?
Fucked up
They
the
gotta
whole
go back
time.
and fix that shit. They gotta
Yeah.
be back and fix that shit. And crazy the thing about it is when they go back to fix the shit, inevitably they affect time. So inevitably they affect time when they do it. So it's like you damned if you do, you damned if you don't type of
You
fucking.
Damn.
At the end of the day, they just fucked up time a gang of times just going to fight people who fucked up time. Right?
Yeah.
But it's just exposing you to how right now they're just telling you that a lot of shows is showing you how flimsy time actually is.
Yeah, because time, you can change the past. You can change the past to almost whatever the fuck you want it to be.
Yeah.
You can change the past.
Yeah.
And by doing that, you change the future.
Right.
You can consciously go back to the past. You can consciously go back to the primordial past and change the future.
So
Or have an effect.
When you saying go back to the past, right?
Yeah.
Let's not get it twisted when we're looking at it from the perspective of modern physics, right?
Uh-huh.
What I'm saying, when I'm particularly saying go back in time, I'm saying that we can go back to that memory in the galactic record.
Okay.
Because that's perpetual, that's continuous, even though it's so-called past, those things are perpetual in this perpetual cycle of perpetual realities and shit. So this thing is continuing on and on and on over and over again in multi-dimensional in a multi-dimensional way. So the past is nothing more than a memory that's in the cosmic record.
Yeah, so it's like going up taking a ship upstream or backstream. You're going back. You're in a ship. You're going down the stream, but the stream is going it's not going this way. It's going that way. If
you're looking at time as a stream, which I don't look at it per se. I'm like if you're looking at the stream, you're speaking on the cycle.
No, well, a stream, like a river or something. Like we're on a ship that
we on the same page. You're right. But what I'm saying is, if you're looking at it from the perspective of if you're looking at the procession of this cosmos from one I don't know what the word from one part of its space that it was in to now it is. It would actually look like a stream.
Mm-hmm.
It will actually look like a stream. So I get what you're saying by going back in the stream, but like I said, the stream, like I said, is a part of the cosmic memory.
Mm-hmm.
So you are going back in the stream. All you're doing is tapping in to that particular memory that the cosmos stores.
But there's also that saying where the past, present, and the futures are both happening simultaneously, and that the past is always reoccurring.
Right.
Yeah.
That too, but I mean, we theorizing, but at the end of the day, it's like so many variants to see how this could actually even be possible to actually go back to the past. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But then, is it possible? Well, if that's the case, to do that would take a lot of energy. That would take a lot of energy. And based on how much energy you're able to harness will determine how far back or you can go. Because I think the sea of the past of time, I think if you go back so far in the past, you'll be in the future again.
Well, personally, I don't think it's about time. Time to me is a concept of the mind. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That was the main point I was trying to make.
Okay, a
Time is the
concept.
concept of the mind, and if you can remember that time, it's still pre-existing. It still exists, so it's still going on. In
Yeah.
some way, it's going on still.
Well, what if time becomes like a thought form?
That's all time is.
And thought forms, yeah, and thought forms can live on forever. They
Right.
can live on.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm not taking away from its significance. I'm just putting it in its proper.
Yeah. Okay, I understand that. I respect that.
We can't let it outside. We can't take it outside like it's
yeah, we don't. Yeah, we don't want to make shit retarded.
No.
We don't want to go into the retarded realm.
No, for sure.
Okay. Yeah, we'll keep it out of that. All right. I feel you on that one. Thank you. Yeah, this thing time.
You said what?
This thing time. Okay, so now now that I know that we're the fourth root race and the fifth sub race. So obviously there have been four sub races prior to us, and three.
Explain root race and sub race.
Okay, root race is each spear. There are 7 spears, and to go around all 7 is 1 round. Okay, so within each spear, 1 spear is a root race, and within 1 root race is 7 sub races. There are 7 spears, so there are 7 sub races. And then there are 7 root races within each 7 sub races. So you have to go through all 7 sub races within a root race to go to the next root race. You get that?
Somewhat. So
okay.
You talking about when you said these sub races? They're people. These are these souls that went through these particular cycles already.
Yeah, the souls are going through all these different species of whatever. Okay, all the way down to the Homo sapiens sapien down here. Yeah, we're from spear A, B, C. This is D, then E, F, G, and then we're at the 0 point after G. We're back in the 0 point. All spiritual. And then it starts all over again. I guess there's a war in heaven, and the physical against the spiritual, and it's a descent back down into the physical.
Spiritual evolution. Because I heard about the fact that we were in past life animals in some past life, and then we evolved into. We probably plant life or animals or things, and we evolved into becoming humans. Is that what you're speaking on?
Yeah, and each round that we go through, there are 7 rounds before a whole day is completed of Brahma. Each round we go, consciousness gets more intelligent and more intelligent and more advanced and more advanced.
Right.
Okay, so as we go around that,
if you really think about it, all of these a host which we're calling human bodies are biological either host holding consciousness.
Mhm.
So yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. These are hosts for consciousness, and
Yeah.
as we go around, those hosts gets better and better and better. But at this stage, though, the central stage, which is our lowest, you know, we're not going to get the best down here. We're at our lowest. This is our lowest level. And if this is our lowest, oh my God, wait till we get to the next level. Oh my God. Imagine what we become later on.
Right.
Yeah. And all the sub races are necessary to to describe all the different features of that particular root race. All the sub races are the different levels of development that a root race has to go through to complete an evolution on that particular sphere. So right now we're on the earth sphere, but eventually we're going to leave the earth sphere and we're going to go back up into the heavenly spheres from which we descended from.
Mm.
Until we get all the way back to the 0 point, negative existence, which
Wow.
is like, yeah, negative existence. When you look into that little tiny pineal gland, that little tiny black dot, and there's a vast universe, that's negative existence. When you can see another universe in a tiny, tiny dot that's as vast or more vast than this universe.
I actually seen that on a show called don't mind me, y'all. This is how I'll be referencing though. This is how I'll be referencing. This is a show. What's it called? Damn, can't think of it right now. Ben 10. Ben 10.
Oh, Ben 10, yeah.
Basically, it was an episode where they were outside of the known universe. It was like, and he was thinking that was the next galaxy. No, he was like, no, that's the next universe. You know what I'm saying? And he talked about the physics of this. That's another universe over here. The physics. I don't like the physics of that universe. That shit was tough. I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah, I mean, in theosophy, it is said that universes come and universes go.
Wow.
I mean, that's no big thing. Wow. That's almost an everyday occurrence. That's how vast this shit is.
Yeah.
I mean, universes come and universes go. All right, on a daily basis, probably. Yeah. And this one is no exception. Although this one has a long way to go. But within that period, a lot of things can happen and a lot of things can change.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have the ability now, once we're online, we have the ability to speed this shit up, speed this evolution up.
Right. Like
through our consciousness
of jumps. You know what I'm saying? Quantum leaps.
Yeah, some beings are going to be able to make very vast conscious quantum leaps, leaving others behind.
Right. That's crazy because it happened on this planet before.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's what the whole Planet of the Apes, theme is about.
Okay.
They came back and the apes were evolved.
Yeah.
That shit crazy. Oh my God. But what they're doing is they're subconsciously projecting their reality.
Mm-hmm.
So it is crazy because sometimes you can't help what you project subconsciously. You can't help it because it's just honest. It's just the subconscious is the most honest part of yourself. And it comes out and you don't even recognize you're doing it.
Yeah, it's like an honest kid.
Right.
That you, yeah, that just won't be quiet.
Right.
Yeah, this tells off on everything.
So that's a perfect description of the subconscious. That's
Yes,
a perfect description. A little kid that just be honest about everything. Know that man told you though. You, boy, I told you don't say nothing about that. He just talking. He's telling everything.
Yeah, I can see someone putting a handkerchief around his mouth.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the perfect
Trying to
description.
gag your subconscious mind. Put a gag around it.
Right.
Oh, shut up.
Hey, but guess what? That's why some people go crazy.
Yeah.
They can't set it up sometimes.
No. Yeah, they're down here in the physical.
They go crazy. And I mean, well, they don't realize what's happening to themselves where the subconscious is trying to perfect you.
Yeah, well, they don't have no veils. That's like they just don't have no veils. So the subconscious can just fucking flood itself over into consciousness and take over. And
Yeah,
so and when that happens,
I've seen that.
yeah. Oh shit. Man, you in a whole nother world that the average person knows not.
Right.
Yeah. And probably don't want to know.
Right. I mean, a lot of that what these people in this society would call mental health, emotional health. You know what I'm saying? But it's like once reality don't make sense in that vibration, when you vibrating at that level, people gonna call it crazy. You're crazy.
Yeah, especially if you're vibrating that level and you're not able to take that blow. You don't have the ability to take all that energy.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And it just over.
My maturity is like you're not at, because that's why they had initiative secret schools in Egypt, because you had to be initiated into this stuff, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There are some people like who are self-initiated. You can be self-initiated into this stuff. Not saying like I look at myself. I've been self-initiated. Why? Because why did I self-initiate myself? Because I delved right into it. I delved all to the science. I got into it. Nothing stopped me. And now I was like, put it like this: a lot of adepts, you know what I'm saying, that you think they know something that you don't know when you're on the path and shit. Not necessarily. You feel me? If you an adept, we should be coming to the same conclusions about this path, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah, because we supposed to be the same a piece of chart that's broken off of the same entity.
Yes. That's what Spawn Heaven Against Hell was about. Because Spawn indirectly, and they just gave it to you in a melanated. It's not coincidence, but they just gave it to you a melanated person, and he spawned, and he just happens to be the assistant to Primal Mother.
Oh man, yeah, that story was the best.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would recommend anyone to go check out Spawn versus Heaven and Hell. Armageddon.
Listen, brother. Listen. Spawn became beyond a god. He became a divine being. Like he became beyond a god.
Yeah, he became divine Spawn. Yeah, he was
divine,
behind. He was
he was
divine.
higher than a god.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, he was able to kick the gods out of creation and Satan.
Right.
Yeah, he was able to kick them out of creation. They have nothing to do with creation no more. Creation was able to go on without them.
I relate to that so much too, because I was always like that, where
Mm-hmm.
I would, you know what I'm saying, I would not allow one side to pick over the other side and myself within myself.
Mm-hmm.
You feel
Mm-hmm.
me? It was always a self-development thing that I approached, where I was what was the word I would use? Uh, Indifferent. I was indifferent with not just spirituality and picking what path or whatever. I was indifferent in a lot of things that I was like, damn,
Mm-hmm.
this is why you get so many different uh, fights, debates, because your ego steps in to where you can't even. You have to be right, even if you're wrong. So that's what that process made me realize, is that it made me be able to suppress my own ego and be like, I'm indifferent. Let me
Mm-hmm.
do some type of balancing these scales and see what I'm saying. Like, I got a rhyme, I hooked for a little song that I'm writing, album that I'm coming out with. I don't know the name of the album yet, but I'm writing the album right now.
Okay.
The hook of it says, should I uh, pick the, no, this is paraphrase. Should I pick the God side or the devil side? Pick them both. Let's have a compromise. To the God side or the devil side? Pick them both. Yeah, let's have a compromise. That's just a little bit of what I'm doing. So again, I'm just introducing this concept to people, which this is taboo. People don't want to talk about this type of shit.
No.
You can get people, and it's because people are so sensitive, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They sensitive. Like, when they're ready to fight because you're challenging their ideas of their higher being, their higher sense of things.
Yeah, everything that they were taught to believe and accept and have faith in, and to rest their faith on and their belief on, no matter what, to the death.
Yeah. Yeah. I never heard that part, to the death part.
Well,
like,
let's say.
No, you're right. No, you're right about that, because I wondered where did they get that in the scripture where it says, what scripture says fight for your faith to the death? I don't even know a surah in the Quran that says that. Now, you can take certain parts of it and probably misinterpret it to say, oh, the fight of your faith, or it's like they will say certain things that will appear to be you fighting in your faith, but that's an inner battle that they're speaking on. That's not a battle outside.
Yeah, well, they're talking about
your sister because they don't believe, like holy wars, right? They don't even get the concept of jihad. Doesn't mean a holy war against your brother who don't believe like you. No, jihad is an inner battle, dumbass.
Yeah, just like Armageddon.
Right.
Armageddon is an inner battle too. Right. The whole Revelation is an inner thing. The story of Revelation is an inner event.
Yes. Which in turn affects the outer. Duh.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They got it ass backwards.
Ass fucking backwards, bro.
Yeah, they were looking up in the sky for someone to come down when the motherfucker's inside of them. Yeah.
He literally says it. If you're looking for the temple of God, it's within, dumbass.
Yeah. Yes. Duh. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
All I can say, you know, hey, with that many people blinded, should make it easier for me to rise up in the world.
Exactly, man. I don't feel no pity for people.
Yeah, there shouldn't be too much competition.
It's like what we speaking to is those who are on the path. So I'm not trying to justify anything, nothing. Fuck what y'all talking about, whatever.
Yeah,
this is for those who are on the path, yo. You know what I'm saying? If
absolutely.
on the path of mastering yourself, this is for you.
Mm-hmm.
This is for you because we be on it. We with the science. You know what I'm saying? And we
this is the shit to separate the chumps from the monks, okay?
right.
Yeah, this is where the wheat is separated from the chaff, okay?
We're not
the wheat
creating no new religions. We're not creating no new religions, motherfuckers. You feel
no
me?
movement.
No, there's no movement. None of that
Don't
shit.
fuck with me. No, this is a wake up call. That's all this is. Wake up.
Understand the science. Because at the end of the day, that's to me what is enough to rejoice over. If enough people were familiar with the science, so I'm just not talking down to people and shit. Because that's immediately what they trying to think is, oh, you're talking down to me. No, I'm not.
No, all of these people are intelligent beings. You just don't have the right understanding. Unfortunately, you just not informed on the right shit. Don't have the right gnosis.
It's a culture thing. You're not familiar with your ancient culture. Period.
Yeah, you're too caught up into this modern.
We will already been introduced to this stuff already. Like it was like you said, you weren't introduced. Children were being introduced with telekinesis back in ancient times, bro. Children was being introduced with mental alchemy back in as a child, 2 years old, 3 years old. They were being introduced to that type of stuff.
Well, and not only that, they probably understood where they were in their evolutionary development as a species too, and what they're supposed to be doing as a species in this evolutionary cycle.
See, that's why. That's it right there, because you have to know the map of your soul evolution. It's a map right there, basically.
Yeah. Okay, so we've been invaded by a force that completely taken us off of that, supposedly, for its own agenda. Because it's a force that's broken away from the original Godhead, and that went to form its own universe,
right?
And entrap souls into it, and but it's still a part of the evolutionary process, though, regardless.
Well, you have
because the souls are here.
If you never look, crazy thing is, if you never experienced this, bro. You feel me? It's like you can't. You only evolve from experiencing the worst.
Yeah, that's the reason why I'm here.
You have to go through the worst.
That's the reason.
Humanity is the worst thing, like you said.
The worst.
That you can ever go through to say, like Tina Marie, I ain't coming back no more.
Yeah, but you wanted to come. But you wanted to come here to go through this, to experience this. Yeah, so you don't have to come back. But
going through this, you evolve to something else every time you do it.
Yeah, but to say that you've been here is like you getting honors. Oh man, you was there.
Wow.
You went through that shit, man. Oh, you a bad motherfucker.
You a bad motherfucker.
You a bad motherfucker.
Right. You a bad motherfucker. You was messy.
Yeah, you made it up here from down there. Oh shit, you a bad motherfucker.
Right.
Cause that's a bad motherfucking place.
Yeah, man. Some bullshit, man.
Yeah, backward is all out back
It's crazy.
outdoors.
You can easily get caught in the abyss, right? You can
Yeah.
easily get. That's the thing is
Mhm.
this is why self mastery is important, man. You
Mhm.
have to master yourself, man, because at the end of the day, people don't even realize all what they have. The whole aspect of your astral body and what you can do with this stuff, man. Like what you can do with your whole existence, like your whole. It's crazy because I have a specific meditation that I do, right, where
Mhm.
I visualize my Merkaba fully formed, my Merkaba fully formed, right,
Mhm.
and it's like I'm able to travel in my Merkaba wherever
Mhm.
I want to go in the multiverse, bro.
Mm.
That's
Okay.
a meditation. That's a meditation that I be on all the time, bro.
Well, that's a good meditation within this meditation.
Right. Within the
Yeah.
meditation.
Yeah. Meditation within the meditation.
Because
Yeah. Because
you're not programming reality, somebody's programming your reality.
yeah. It's being all of this is being meditated into being.
So you can't just be a sideline participant because sideline participants are programs.
Yeah. Programs
You're
are
programmed.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what a lot of people
Backdrops.
choose to do. They just don't want to. They see what's going on here. They conscious, like
Mm-hmm.
everything we're speaking on. They probably thought about it themselves,
Oh
right?
yeah. They have to.
But
Yes.
they've allowed the church to compartmentalize their thinking and control their thinking to where now you've locked yourself out of your own greatness.
Well, what they done, they gave church permission to pull their ignition key out of the slot and hold it for them. So
Wow.
they're not able to turn on their machine.
Wow.
The church said, "We got the key, honey."
Um,
But in return for the key, we're gonna give you Jesus. Okay.
right. Because I tell a lot of people all the time, there's nothing wrong with belief. There's nothing wrong at all with belief.
Yeah.
To me, it's a superpower.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah. If as long as you believe in what you know, if what you
Right.
believe is,
No, listen.
is.
Look, that's exactly that's the polarity right there. Belief and no. Right? That's the polarity. Meaning they are the same thing.
Yeah, and faith. I believe and have faith in exactly what I know and understand.
Right. So
Mm-hmm.
so there's a saying in the teachings in more science, right, that says belief is lost. Belief is lost in faith. Faith is lost in fruition. Right? It's because you become what you know. You are a manifestation of that now. You are not just searching for it I look at belief as a path or a process.
Yeah, and it's an inner belief, not an outer belief. You're not
Right.
believing in something. You're not believing in
Now,
something that you're
that's
looking
a whole
for
other
out.
thing when you use belief to actually be like intentions, belief as an intention to
Mm-hmm.
manifest reality that you want to come about. Right? That's a whole nother level of what I'm speaking on, of how belief
Yeah.
is like a superpower. If you
Oh, yeah.
do your incantations, the only thing that's giving it its power is your own belief in it.
Yeah. When you do a ritual, yeah, and the energy and belief that you put into it and the intensity will make that shit really, really happen.
I actually did it today, bro. I did it today. So
I
I know
bet.
it works. I've been
Yeah.
doing it. Meaning,
Yeah.
what I did was, I visualized what I wanted to come about.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, it already happened. It's happening. It's happening right now. It already happened. It happened already. It's going to happen and it's happening right now. And I just kept on saying it in my head. It's happening. It's happening. It's
Mm-hmm.
happening. And I just I visualized me already having the money already. That's what I was trying to visualize. I wanted a certain amount of money. I would visualize me having it, and it happened, bro. I swear. It went
Oh,
beyond.
yeah.
It went
Oh,
beyond what I wanted it.
oh, yeah. Oh, man. Shit. I did a ritual last weekend after we finished this podcast. And plus, I did one Friday night. Man, this week, all kind of crazy shit happened this week, man. I mean, just really stupid, dumb shit. I mean, one day my roommate called me in the living room. This guy in the living room had big old boxes full of weed and shit. Want to try bud? Oh, shit, yeah. Then a minute later, hey, how would you like to make $100? How? Drive us to San Jose and back in a white C 550 in CL
Right.
C-Class Mercedes. Here's $200 and here's the keys to a 550 Mercedes. Oh shit, 700 miles in 12 hours.
Right.
Shit. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, like, damn. It was a whole nother world. Didn't even expect no shit like that. Whole
Right.
nother world.
This is not just speculating. This stuff is constantly happening, bro. I'm like,
It's getting more and more
I'm not even
intense.
trying to do it no more, bro. It's like it's doing it by itself now.
Yeah. And it's sure I haven't gotten to the part that I really want to happen. And I understand the reason why that haven't happened yet, because I have to focus on simulating doing what I'm supposed to be doing after what I want to happen. So that when it does happen, I can go ahead and put this in simulation into the real thing.
You know what? Know what I realized too?
What?
That sometimes when you wanted something to manifest,
Mm-hmm.
and it appears that it hasn't happened, that's not necessarily true.
No, it's not necessarily
you just don't
true.
recognize it at the particular point yet that it actually happened already.
Yeah, and then not only that, but there are other things that you need to get ready for before you get into that too. That has to happen. I mean, there are a lot of things that go along with what we want that we're not aware of, that we need to become aware of before we get into it, because once we get into it, shit, it's too late.
What if, you just gave me that idea. What if our higher self trying to manifest things that we was asking for a certain thing, right? But you got to realize this can actually kind of throw off what you're if you're doing something for. I would use the word selfish, but if you're doing things, because you can do things for selfish reasons doing magic, you can. But you can't.
So
you can't do things based on trying to alter someone else's existence in that sense.
or belief.
Huh?
or trying to change someone else's
Yes.
will.
So you can do things that will be considered selfish. Like I want to manifest some type of abundance of wealth in a period of time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're doing that and your higher, the energies is going to. It's like how the algorithm in your computer picks up things that is not necessarily, or you're not necessarily aware that it's picking up on and shit. So this is how I would call the cosmic algorithm picks up on certain things that you're putting out in the universe and putting out in the universe. It picks up
Mm-hmm.
on it and it reads that intention. It's like what is you gonna do this? What are you doing this for? And you feel me? And what is it? The ends of it is going to
Yeah.
ultimately. Look,
Yeah.
it could
How is
be that.
this? Yeah. How is this contributing to your evolution, your proper evolution,
Right,
and your
right.
proper
So
place?
sometimes it might step in and you might manifest what you're not necessarily knowing that you need at the time. You manifested
Yeah.
stuff and it manifests something that you might not. You're going to evolve and recognize that. Damn! Wow! This is why.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? This is why that happened. When
Yeah.
you was looking for some inferior, like, cause people always looking for physical manifestations, bro.
Uh-huh.
That's the problem. You always looking for literal physical manifestation.
Yeah. When it's all mental, not physical.
Right.
Yeah.
So you don't recognize when you manifest stuff that you put out into the universe to manifest, and it wasn't necessarily 3 dimensional.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm realizing that a lot of things that, like when I do a lot of rituals to bring change into the entire universe, especially down here, that these things are happening, but I don't have to know about them happening. But I will eventually know about them by hearing about certain events occurring in the news or whatever, certain things happening around the world, or certain
Wow.
events happening in outer space.
You hit me up with another shit. There you go. You
Hmm?
right. You are right. You
Yeah.
are right. We don't know what
Hmm.
we're manifesting until it's, you know what I'm saying, this shit happening and you seeing it on national news.
Yeah. Or are you
You don't
seeing
know
shit
what the fuck
happening
you
before your
manifesting.
eyes?
Right.
Yeah. Oh, shit. I better hold off on that ritual tonight. No.
No,
I
no,
better really pick that shit up tonight. Yeah.
right, right.
Yeah. There's some times when I really feel the energy is telling me, yeah, you're really on it. And the more you do this, yeah, it's gonna repeat itself in a cycle. It's gonna seem like the energy dissipates a little bit, but it's just going around in the cycle. And next, it's gonna come back around again. It's gonna be more intense,
Right.
and then it's gonna quiet down and build, and come back around again, even greater.
Well, my higher self communicates with me
Hmm?
all the time. You know what I'm
Hmm?
saying? My different selves communicate with me. My higher self
Hmm.
most communicates with me
Hmm.
all the time, but it communicates me on a level where I I can't understand it if I'm looking at it from a human perspective, bro. You can't
Yeah,
understand what your higher self is saying sometimes. You're looking
yeah.
at it
It
from
was
your
like,
human mind.
yeah, for a minute, I didn't know what the fuck I was gonna be able to, like, where I was gonna be able to start tonight in this podcast, and I was just listening to this and listening to things that I know I need to listen to, and then, like, before you called me, I was sitting down and starting getting ideas, putting things together.
Well, that's very significant what you brung about how we're going through all these different Sephiroth or spheres.
Yeah, these are spheres. Yeah, this isn't. I can't relate this to the tree of life, but I can relate it to our chakras.
Okay.
Okay, spear 1 is the root chakra. Spear 2 is the orange chakra. Spear 3
That's
is
the solar plex.
yeah. And,
The root
spear
solar plex.
yeah, spear 3 is the yellow chakra. Well, actually, that's the stomach, I believe, or the solar plex. And now we're in spear 4. Spear 4, we're at the heart chakra.
Wow. So
And
I was correct in my observation and my deduction of the fact that if you're vibrating anything below the heart chakra,
mm-hmm.
then you're okay. How can I say it? Because I was saying it, I was speaking to it to my wife the other day about how you're acceptable to these sub planes when you're
Mm-hmm.
vibrating below the heart chakra, right? And
Yeah.
you're acceptable to these demons, right? You're acceptable to them
Mm-hmm.
because if you look at all of the damn horror movies where they got demons, what is the first thing the demon has to do? The demon has to somehow scare you into confronting the demon.
Well, possess you too.
Right. It scares you
Yeah.
into confronting it by confronting you with all of your misconceptions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it makes you insecure. So now it become a horror flick, right?
Yeah.
When really,
Demons can also.
really it's just you not wanting to fess up to your dark side.
But also, you got to be careful because other spirits can also penetrate you and get in with you
Well, there's
through
rules to
weakness.
that, but that's my whole point. There's rules to even that. This is
Oh, you
why
really?
they have to resort to certain levels of trickery to even come in. Like,
Okay.
look, most people who are on those lower subplanes, they're on those lower subplanes because of uncertainty about what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, they're acceptable to these lower thought forms, like a entity that exists on that plane, but
Mm-hmm.
could use and take advantage of a human who doesn't recognize that who they actually are, which is superior, because
Mm-hmm.
you have to be superior because you have these other potential higher aspects of self that you can access.
And how do they know that your defenses are down? They can see the openings
Yes,
um, in
yes,
your auric field.
right,
Your auric
right,
field has
right. They see
openings
you
in
not
it.
working on yourself. You're not doing the work.
Yeah.
You're
And
not doing the
so,
work. So they can come in. This is how they possess. Because the only way,
yeah,
like I said, the only way they can possess you is if you invite them in. It's the vampire theory. The vampire can't even touch you if you're not invited in.
yeah, but Archon though,
Huh?
Archon don't give a shit because the Archons, this is their fucking world. They made this. They're
No,
like the
that's
agents.
exactly the same concept though, because indulged in this world, you're in
Yeah,
their jurisdiction. If you're not
yeah,
impressed
okay,
with this bullshit, if you indulged in their shit, of course they got your ass. But if you're not
yeah.
impressed, you see through their bullshit. You like, oh, I already see through this trickery.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. If you've been disconnected from the Matrix, and now you're fucking Neo or Trinity or Morpheus
Right.
running around in consciousness, yeah, then they can't do that. But what they can do is activate this guy. They can come alive and through this guy and use him to attack you, or use her to attack you, or use them to attack you.
This is the only way they're interacting with us.
Yeah.
Because
Mm-hmm.
it's similar to how they in commercial law, right? They had to, because the entity that we're interacting with, seemingly politically, which is the United States of America, is a commercial entity, right?
Mm-hmm.
In order
Mm-hmm.
for it to interact with any, because it can't interact with flesh and blood beings. Corporations, put it like this. This is how you break it down. Corporations can only interact with corporations.
Right. So
They
they
can't
turn you
interact
into
with
a
humans.
corporation.
They can't
So they
interact with
create a
humans.
corporate. So
Yes.
they take the natural you and create a incorporated you from the natural you.
But the thing is, your natural self is adhering or acquiescing to the artificial self. Your natural self
Meaning,
is taking on obligations of the artificial self.
oh yeah, it's taken on. Yeah, they create this artificial self, but they make the natural self responsible for
Reliable.
this artificial self.
They make the natural self appear to be, because it's all presumption
Appear.
of law. It's all presumption of law. It appears to be, if
Mm.
you are not familiar with the jurisprudence, if you're not familiar with the legalese and law concepts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is what we're saying is these are the people that's on the lower subplanes.
Oh,
They're
so
not
these
aware.
people are taking advantage.
They're taking
These
advantage
people
of
are
it because
taking.
they're not aware. Just because they're
They're what?
they're called a minority. Look at what minority is.
Okay.
Look at what minority, a legal definition of minority, not just the colloquial or connotative definition, or
What is the legal definition of minority?
According to U.S. legal definitions, the state or condition of being under legal age, a group that does not constitute a politically dominant voting majority of the total population in a given society.
Okay, a state or condition of being under legal age, a group that does not constitute a politically dominant voting majority of the total population in a given society. It can also refer to a group having less than a controlling number of votes.
Listen. So what they're saying is you're immature. You don't recognize who you are, so we're able to take advantage of you as a minority. Because read the first part. It says a state of being what?
Under legal age.
Under legal age. What are they saying?
Mm-hmm.
What they're saying, you are not of you're not of age, and what they mean by of age is competent.
But they're saying the
You're not
state or
competent.
condition, yeah,
Yes,
which means you're
exactly.
not competent.
You're not competent.
Yeah, right.
You're
Yeah,
not
it's not
competent.
that you're too young. It's
Right.
no, you're too dumb.
You're incompetent.
Yeah, you're not too young. You're too dumb to know.
So what the state does is say you're incompetent to me, meaning you're liable. Meaning you're dependent upon me. The state is just
Yeah.
claiming you as a dependent. Period.
Mm-hmm. So I can do
you're
it.
not able to take over your own affairs.
So I
You're
can
not
do it you
competent
as
enough
thou
to take
wilt.
over your own affairs.
So
you're in the
so they can
minority.
do. They
Go
can
ahead.
do unto you as thou wilt. Then, huh?
You not taking claim over the body. It's just that simple. You're not claiming what's yours. You're not claiming what is yours. Your body is
But
yours,
see,
right?
the reason, but what is the reason why people are not claiming what is theirs? Because they don't know about that they're even supposed to be doing this. Because
it goes back to the empowerment, bro.
yeah, they're not allowed to know.
This is what the society does to these people to the point where they're disempowered, where they devalue themselves. They figure I'm nothing. This is the main. The depression is the main thing. The main dilemma in this society is depression. People are suffering from insecurity, depression, and it's mainly because they keep them in that state.
Yeah.
So they can't drain their energies if they were in a superior state of recognizing who they actually are.
No, and if they can't
They can't do that.
and if they can't pull all the energy out, they can't make them sick. They can't get diabetes. They can't get this. So they can treat them with this and treat them with this and treat them with this,
Right.
which will
Put it like this.
which
Imagine all those people who think that all they know is when I get sick, I feel something, go to a doctor. What if they were born in a society, a culture where they were taught to heal themselves?
right. Well, yeah, where they would have a state of mind where sickness is not allowed. And if there isn't a sign of sickness, that means that something is wrong somewhere and it has to be addressed.
Let's just be honest, man. These concepts in the Western world are nowhere near fully appreciative of the holistic approach that our ancestors had on these subject matters. Period.
No, because this is for commerce.
Right.
This isn't.
Not only that, it's just that they are an imitation. Always, they're going to be an imitation of primal. They're going to be always an imitation of primal, not primal.
So this is what I'm coming up with. If there are 7 sub races, and there's 7 root race. Well, if there are 7 sub race within each, 7 sub race within each root race. What is the root race? Are we a root race? And from us come all these other sub races?
If you're speaking biologically, evolutionary wise, yes.
Okay.
But if you're speaking from the perspective of that sphere of that cycle of going through all these different existences and your soul's evolution, I'm not sure I can answer that one.
Yeah, I don't think anyone can answer that.
It seemed like there's a correlation.
Yeah, melanin was around before creation.
Right. Put it like this, in evolution, right? In the biological evolution, right?
Yeah.
You can see certain things have evolved before others, and there are the blueprint to what we see today, right? So, okay, just like, for example, the eyes evolved before the lungs, if I'm not mistaken. Well, no, my bad. The lungs, you got to look it up, though. I may be mistaken, but certain parts, certain organs evolved before other organs. In the body,
what you mean while we're in the fetus mode or in overall evolution?
You got to realize that the fetus in the process that it goes through is nothing more than a process that's replicating another higher process that happens on a higher plane of existence, right? To where this is what I'm speaking on the level of evolution, because when you look at biological evolution, all of these things seemingly, because Western world thought says that all these things evolve separately.
Yeah.
No, they see, when you looking at this quantum jump, right? You can't explain it in human thought.
No,
that's where they get conflicted. They get conflicted in that respect, right? Because they can't see or visualize, they can't appreciate, they can't conceptualize how all of this happened before it happened, and you have to have like a blueprint for a reality before another reality. It's like, and it
Oh, they
all
don't
happened,
know.
and it happened in not necessarily a physical third dimensional perspective or consciousness or state of being. This happened.
Yeah, because we didn't start from third dimension. We didn't start from the physical. We started from the higher realms and descended. We descended from the higher, from conscious unit, unconscious unity.
Yeah, so physical reality is a lower realm. It's like hell.
Yeah, okay, well this is the central part of our evolution. And one of the most important part and also one of the lowest part.
Mm.
We're in the central of our evolution now. So from here, which is the reason why we have all this resistance, because we have opposing energy that must be dealt with directly and completely neutralized, while at the same time building up energy for an escape velocity to ascend back up again and continue our evolution on the upward trend back into conscious unity, out of the earthly realm and into the etheric and spiritual realm, and all the way back to the 0 point. And then from there, a whole day of Brahma, and then you have the night of Brahma, and then he begins the next day.
Like you said, Brahma is like 1,000 years, right?
No.
How long?
8.8 billion.
Wow.
Yeah. And then
So
another
like,
8.8.
This is another evidence. This is more evidence of how your soul has no concern with time like that. Like,
Right. And this and also means that this incarnation is just a little piece of dew.
right. It's just like how they were speaking on how we did what we just read on how there's God's time and there's human time.
Mm-hmm. Well, as we ascend back up into conscious unity, we're ascending back into the godhood, and some of us can go even further. And as we pass on, we can go into Diva Chan, and then
We
and
know that
either
because there's a such thing as a demigod, which is the lower god, and then you got higher gods over that too. So
yeah, well, all of that will be on the mental realms.
of
They
course.
will they will exist on the mental realms,
So
and there are two.
all it is these are like archetypes to your own evolution. Like if you evolve, it's up to the person on the path, right?
Yeah.
It's up to the person on
Mm-hmm.
the path. If you want to evolve and go to this level, it's up to you. It's like training for. It's like when you're training to get from a yellow belt to I think it's from a yellow belt to an orange belt, and then from an orange belt to a something else belt. But when
Brown
you
belt or
train
something.
for them, when you're training to get that belt, you got to go through training. This is the same type of, but it's only it's a mental or astral realm of training.
Yeah. You got to go through these different degrees.
Right.
Yeah. And you have these cycles within cycles within cycles within cycles within cycles of cycles of cycles of cycles of cycles.
Right.
Yeah. There's a cycle for every
the,
goddamn thing.
It's like the labyrinth.
Well, yeah, that's also talking about your brain and also creating new connections by pushing yourself into newer things. You create these different.
You actually literally do open up new caverns of your brain, like the little grooves in your brain. It opens up more when you get into newer things and you explore or challenge yourself to be able to conceive or conceptualize other concepts.
You're constantly stretching or stretching your consciousness.
Right.
Or you're conscious, you're continually expanding your consciousness.
Right.
Only way you can expand your consciousness is by wrapping your mind around things that you can't understand. You don't. That's hard to understand.
A finite mind can't comprehend or
Infinite thing.
finite thing. Finite mind can't comprehend infinite. Can't comprehend.
No. No.
You have to go beyond finite thinking.
Yeah, the obsolete cannot comprehend the absolute.
Right. And this is when you have to realize and master, because it's all within your energy high. Is what we're going back to, the energy high. Is when you're tempted by your lower self desire to. I see, like in the Matrix movies, they talked about where they broke down where old boy, he was going to sell out to the agents.
Oh, Saturn.
When he was eating the steak, he said, I know I don't, this steak don't exist, but it's the best steak I ever had in my life.
Yeah, it's just so many connections in my brain.
That's the lower sub intimidations that they use to get in them holes that you speaking on.
Mm-hmm.
Because you tempted,
yeah.
You're able to be tempted. You acceptable to those lower self desires.
And then what did he say after that?
There's nothing wrong with having lower self desires, but don't let them control you.
But what did he say after that? I don't want to remember none of this.
Right.
I want to be somebody famous.
I don't remember none of this. Right. I
want to be someone famous, someone important. Yeah.
Right.
I don't want to have no more fucking sign of consciousness.
I don't mind being an automaton, a battery for y'all. Just don't let me remember it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me be totally
exactly.
And this is what a lot of people have chosen. Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of people have already made that choice already.
Yep. Yeah.
I just want to be an automaton.
Yeah. And then what happened to him? Oh my God. He could not believe it. That guy came back and blew his ass away.
It's just like what happened to the believers in Spawn versus heaven and hell. The believers, the blind believers, didn't realize that they were nothing but fodder for them gods, or the fodder for the devil. It was nothing but a soldier, something that he can use as a tool for his war.
Yeah, both of them. Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's really the ends to all that. Just giving all your faith into this entity, and that's the basic end to that shit right there. Is that all you're gonna do? Is he gonna drain you of your energy?
Mm-hmm.
And just like a pimp hole relationship, leave your ass stranded right there where you at until you can further. You give me. It's like a pimp hole relationship, bro, that they have with their God.
Yeah. He's gonna have that hole until someone like us bring on the real true order of things and completely neutralize their energy and bring on the new energy and bring consciousness out of that horizontal state that it's in into this arching ascension back into conscious unity again. And so it can start remembering itself.
Wow.
Right now it can't remember itself, and that's okay. This is a part of the evolution, but we are privileged enough to be awake right now, and so that means we have a responsibility to shape the way for consciousness to arch up.
Yeah.
And we can bring on the resistance that's needed to neutralize the old energy. that must be neutralized, and that we have neutralized already 3 times prior to this.
Well, it ain't worth
So,
it. It ain't worth it if it ain't giving me resistance, brother.
exactly. This is the normal thing. And we can shine here because we've been here before. And we defeated this before. So there's nothing to be afraid of.
Right.
There's just only something to challenge us.
Yes.
And to get it so we can draw on and pull our real true energy down here and beat the shit out of this shit.
Right. Right. This is what I keep telling people is like, stop looking at yourself as an inferior. You are superior, especially in your own fucking mind, at least in your own. And it's not even being egotistical. I'm not saying that you have to humble the ego until you can actually realize yourself. You have to humble the ego. You feel me?
Yeah,
it's not egotistical. What I'm saying. What I'm saying is, this society has beat you down and broken your spirit because it falsely made you believe that you're inferior.
Yeah. And if you do try to give yourself these positive affirmations, your ego is going to immediately kick in and say, oh man, you can't believe this shit.
Right.
This is a bunch of shit.
Right.
Man, just, you know what? Forget about this shit and just come home with me and just worship me.
Right. Give in to your impulse. Give in to your lower self desires. Don't even fuck all that. Fuck all that trying to realize yourself on a higher level. Fuck all that.
Yeah. Why are you going to do all that? All right.
Yeah.
I'm all you need right here, right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't believe in that and that and that. You're not that. You can never be that. Now you're this and this and this.
Right.
You got this. You got this. You got this. We're going to get this. We're going to get this. Yeah. Yeah.
It was another dope show, bro. I love it. We can go. We get into the ethers, and it's like time don't exist, like I said.
Yeah.
And we'll go for infinity.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we're gonna have to cut it.
Sometimes we have to come back down to this motherfucker again.
Yeah, we do. Shit, and plus
deal with this cocoon state we in. We in a cocoon state, man. We butterfly.
Yeah, and some of us are coming out of the cocoons, while some of us are at home, comfortable in the cocoons.
Right. You're right.
Yeah.
See, when I say the cocoon, I'm speaking on humanity in general.
Some of us are happy in humanity, comfortable and happy in humanity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though it has an end, it's like you got to realize it's coming to an end.
Yeah, the whole thing it has a cycle. It's a cycle, and all cycles ends, and a new cycle begins.
Yeah.
And this humanity thing. Well, it's going to be here for a minute, maybe. However, the question you got to ask is your soul. What are you going to do about your soul? Are you going to allow your soul to continue to come down here and incarnate in these little beings, whatever we'll be incarnating in, going through these same old lessons? Or are you going to go on to the next level beyond this? Yeah. Or if you do come back, are you going to come back as a god, and you're going to come back each time better and better and better, and you're going to have something that's going to help humanity evolve
and get
this shit over with?
A lot of people come back already recognize they God. You know what I'm saying? They come back advanced beings, already advanced. As a child, this is what they would call these prodigies and what they will call
yeah. These skillful ones. They call them skillful ones. The Theosophical Society, because these beings have been through Diva-chan already. They've gone through all of that shit, and they decided at the end to come back and to help humanity rather than to go into complete unity.
That's the conclusion I came to, was that I came back to kind of help other human souls, not human souls, that are actually serious about their evolution. It's evolution.
Well, maybe we came back to help evolution, period, to put something into this evolution, into just the collective consciousness that will help evolve it and speed it up and get it to express itself in many, many different ways than it is now, than it's been able to. But first, it has to overcome the resistance, the Ahrimanic forces. It's going to have to deal with the Ahrimanic forces, because that's a given. They're supposed to be here. They're here now. And we're going to have to deal with that. And we're going to have to get past that and transcend from there and ascend back up with conscious unity. And so we have our work cut out for us right now. And it's about our evolution here. It's about bringing consciousness back up, getting it ready for the ascension. And so we have to deal with the resistance. We're going to have to bring resistance. We're going to have to bring the war.
Right.
Yeah. The ones of us.
I brought it already. It's already happening. I'm destroying their constructs in my mind, bro. Destroying them. Like they don't. That aspect of reality don't even exist in my mind no more. It's just, this is why I can't really relate to this human, this what they're doing right now. I can't relate at all. I'm outside the man. I'm in my own world, bro. I can't relate.
Yeah. I feel you. You know, all I can do is I just look at it now, and I see all the other souls that are here, and
right.
Still the soul.
Next week we got to get into, do all humans have souls, man? That's a question I wonder, because I know for a fact that they all don't.
No. Already, but the ones that don't, they still can acquire one.
Well, they can have some semblance.
Yeah, they do have some semblance, but because they exist, they animate it.
So they have a semblance of one now. So, okay.
Yeah, and there is that energy that is always there. If they do the great works, they can acquire an soul.
But one of the main experiments that anyone can do to see if someone has a soul or do they have a semblance of a soul is just look at the difference of dance, man. How some are able to catch a rhythm and some aren't. That's a simple experiment that can show you that if you got a soul or not, you got a semblance of a soul, or you got an actual soul.
Well, shit, I don't know if I do have one because I can't dance. I never learned to dance.
You can catch
I probably have the rhythm.
You can catch the rhythm, though.
I got rhythm.
We don't understand how genius that is. How just being able to tune into a rhythm. And how that is so powerful in itself.
Well, yes, I can tune in rhythms and beats. Oh, I can make up rhythms and beats in my mind. I'm more creative. I can make things with my hands. I can sculpt things. I can
Right.
sculpt a female's body and
That's
make
a
it
rhythm
look and
too. That's a rhythm too, brother.
yeah.
All that comes from the source rhythm, bro. You because when you break down sculptures, right?
Mm-hmm.
These sculptures manifest from what's called the sacred geometry, right?
Oh
Sacred
yeah.
geometry is manifested from what? Sound. So it's
Mm.
the rhythm, bro. You tapping into the rhythm, whether you're doing art.
Well, in that case, I'm full of that shit. And so much.
Right. Which is the
Yeah, I got two
indicator of
left
a
feet.
soul, though. That's the indicator of a soul, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you can only, because it's to me, it's like how most white rappers, right, so-called white rappers, right,
Mm-hmm.
they are they are pale images of an actual melanin rapper that they duplicated their style,
Yes. So there,
right? So, and
that's
I'm
their
not. This is
great
not
work.
even. This is not even. This is just showing you the difference between soul and an imitation soul, or someone who can duplicate soul once they watch it over and over and over again and shit.
Mm-hmm.
They can duplicate it, right? Because you got to realize that most of those programs like Soul Train, who was watching that shit mostly? Of course, we would tune in religiously, but the most
Mm-hmm.
people who were turning into that shit was the so-called white community, brother.
Really?
Yeah,
I thought they was watching the bandstand, but they was
they
watching
will watch that
bandstand
too.
and
But
Soul
I
Train.
guarantee you, the band look. That's the misconception that they so-called black shows are the
Mm-hmm.
highest rated shows on TV.
Yeah.
You feel me? But they're gonna downplay it because they try to downplay our greatness all the time because it's an inferiority complex that they have against. Like, you know, when people got an inferiority complex, they gotta always make it appear like somebody who they know is superior, more superior, or not as superior, so they can feel comfortable.
Yeah, well, we get player hated all the time. I mean, that's nothing new. All right. So that's telling you we are the gods. We're something.
They
Everybody
know
got a
that we
player.
are the gods. They're telling you
Yeah.
they know we are the gods. They know we
Yeah.
are the gods. And
Yeah. And then,
not only that, and what I got evidence to this that they know we are the gods, and they're able to take like what that the myth of what's the dude who went to the gods and try to steal some of the light of the gods.
Prometheus.
So Prometheus. So that's what they're attempting to do. They're keeping us in a state of inferiority, right? So they can steal the light.
Yeah. Well, Prometheus. Yeah. Well, Prometheus was on our side. Prometheus was actually Satan. He stole light from the gods and gave it to men, which was the Kundalini.
Right.
Yeah, so which was the same thing. He was like Lucifer. He was like Lucifer. But he was the Greek style Lucifer. He
Right.
stole, and then and Zeus got pissed off and nailed him. He chained him, and this big giant bird to come and eat his liver every day. He'll die, and then in the morning he'll be alive again and go through suffer the same thing over and over until Hercules came and saved him. But that was almost the same story, the Greek story of Lucifer, who freed man by getting Eve to eat the apple from the tree of knowledge,
Hmm.
and which sort of like the Kundalini too.
Wow. I made a
Yeah.
correlation. I made a correlation between Lucifer and sulfur.
Lucifer and what?
Lucifer and sulfur,
And
right?
sulfur.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
All right.
molecular binding of molecules of complex molecule of simple molecules becoming complex molecules. The binding molecule is sulfur molecule, right?
Okay.
Which is actually like a spark of energy, a spark of light that binds these two, combine these two molecules together to make them a complex molecule. So it's where they're getting the sulfur. The sulfur is root. The root is is of lucifer is fur,
Mm-hmm.
and sulfur have a relationship to each other. They have a correlation to each other.
Okay. Yeah, that's just like how the word philosophy and Sophia are almost the same word.
Right.
Philosophy stands for the lovers of knowledge, and the word philosophy is Sophia. So when you break down Sophia, is philosophy is in there.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Just like
And
in
then you have
the origins, like just like in the origins of language when you're looking up, because people don't even realize that the phonetic brackets in your definition shows you
mm-hmm,
the origins of where how these uh, uh, symbols, because most letters are just symbols that got a sound associated with it. So you can find out the phonetic in the phonetic bracket. It shows you the origins of where that sound came from. How where you get phonetic Phoenician, where you then you go to the Phoenician phonetic Phoenician. The Phoenicians were the mothers and fathers of the modern language that we're speaking today, because
mm,
every language that we're speaking, especially the Semitic languages, evolved out of those original language um,
mm-hmm.
like Latin and Sanskrit. Not Sanskrit. Yes. What would they call? Is it Sanskrit? Yeah, I think it is Sanskrit. But them older languages in which
Arabic,
these, yeah. Well, that's that before Arabic. It will be Aramaic. No,
Aramaic. Yeah.
Aramaic and
Mm.
then Arabic and then. So what I'm saying is all these languages today had a mother language from which the
Yeah.
Phoenician
Which
Empire had something to do with bringing forth these particular languages. That's why when you look up the word phonics, that traces back to the Phoenicians.
mm. Interesting. Yeah. And I wonder what the real true history is, since we've been around so long. I mean,
It's like you said,
man,
it's story. History is nothing but what the conquerors wrote. You know what I'm saying, to cover up the
yeah.
true history.
Yeah, only these conquerors only allow so many thousand years of history to be
Eliminated.
documented,
Yep, you're right.
really.
Right, and that's purposely done to alter our
Yeah.
evolution too, to hold back the evolution, because we had access
Yeah,
more
that
to that.
definitely that is
That would
definitely done.
that would aid in our evolution.
Yeah, because 5,000 to 6,000 years is nothing in the universe and in cosmic time. To us, that's ancient history, but in the universe, that's nothing.
Right, but think about that's why they
That's
keep us. That's why they keep us with, like you just said, they don't go no further back.
no.
Right? They don't they don't they don't they don't frame our history into like hundreds of millions of years back. Right?
No.
They don't say that
Mm-mm.
because they know that, because you got to realize that their history actually does not go that far back.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah,
why they,
because then they can explain themselves.
yes, they
Yeah,
they
and if they
written out of the equation once you go further back.
Yeah, if we go further, but there's no them, and then they know that there's something that was here before them, and it's probably still here now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I gotta go, bro. It's getting late.
Okay, man.
We'll go for infinite time on this mug, man. But
I know, man. Okay, I enjoyed this.
No doubt, brother.
Okay.
It's gonna be broadcast immediately.
Okay, well, text me the link to the YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Peace.
All right. Okay. Peace, man.
Peace.
All right. Okay.